And here we have the K5 in its drying out position. So every time you take this thing floating down the river, whatever, lake, you always get some water in here. And it does a really good job of staying in here. And so at the end, and you really won't ever get it out. So what I like to do, see there's a little bit of water right there. What I like to do, and I'll just leave it like this because it'll dry. Anyway, what I like to do is I like to pull the inside out. These are the air bladders, and it's one piece. And I separate them, and then they dry really fast. Usually in under a day. Depends how sunny it is. Today it's murderously hot and sunny, so it'll probably dry really fast. So I'm drying these guys out, and then when they're done drying, I will reassemble them, put them back together, and reassembled, we'll talk about some things that I like about this boat. You could usually pick this boat up for about $100, and I think it's the best deal going for an inflatable kayak for a variety of reasons, and we'll touch on that here in a minute. Okay, so I just inflated this thing. I could have videotaped it, but it was hard to run that tool and handle the boat valves with one hand, or with two hands, and have a third hand for the holding the camera. But anyway, you get the idea. There's 3 chambers, 1, 2, 3. I would say the floor took 10 seconds to inflate. That one took 20, and that one took 20. So you can easily inflate this thing under a minute with your nice little Ryobi tool, your Ryobi air inflator. So typically, and plus I'm trying to get this to dry so I could roll this boat up it, and we're almost there. And this kind of sun and heat is only going to take a few more minutes. I may even just towel dry it. So it's 3 chambers. The floor is probably, 6 inches thick, and it is soft and cushy like you wouldn't believe. You get this nice little rear cargo area, which if you have a very small cooler or a dry bag, I have a round water cooler that would be ideal for that. And I'll probably put my small little dry bag right there between my legs, as opposed to the other way I did it last weekend. I had my dry bag back here, my cooler there, and it didn't work out nearly as good. What can I say? Yeah, it's incredibly comfortable. It gives you a built-in backrest. This is probably what makes this boat ideal, is this built-in backrest. That coupled, I know it's not a drop stitch floor. Drop stitch floors come at a price. Not only are they more costly, but if you sit on them, after a while it feels like you're sitting on a hard piece of plywood and your butt hurts. This thing, you can sit on it all day long and you get no butt hurt. And now it's true, the shape of the hull will morph underneath your butt a little bit, so you won't skim over the shallows quite like you used to with your drop stitch kayak. You'll have a little butt hump. But hey, for $100, are you going to get everything? Probably not. Okay, I want to show you something really quick that I just noticed. There's 2 holes right here. This is the bottom of the boat. So what happens, why these holes are here, and this is pretty ingenious. So inevitably water comes in this boat every time you get in and out. But this is the low spot. And these drain holes will drain the water more or less away from you. You're always going to be sitting in some water, but they drain into the hull of the boat. And I think that that's kind of a nifty little idea. So there's still water in the boat, but it's not necessarily on your butt. Okay, and then this thing looks like it's just about dry. Okay, so, there's a little bit of water back there. Let's see. Yep. I may take a towel to this. No, I'm probably not going to take a towel to that. That's just such little water. It's going to dry here in about 90 seconds. So I'm going to put this bladder back in the boat and show you what it looks like completed. Okay, and this is what the boat looks like inflated. I didn't get it exactly centered. You see a little more fabric off to this side than there is this side, but that's okay. This is the backpack that kind of, you throw it in there. It becomes the seat. So pretty comfortable, right? Here, let me go on wider mode here. Okay, and so this little storage area back here, I'll give you a little kind of trunk. I can put a cooler, a small dry bag, a small water jug fits in there. These straps are amazing. Let's talk about the straps. Here, I'm going to put my speaker in there. Okay. So I went down the river with my Spark Mini made by Positive Grid. This speaker, let's just do a little plug for him, has 2 stereo speakers in front and a subwoofer in back. It has about a 5-hour playtime at reasonable volumes. You could probably kill it in about 3.5, 4 hours if you max it out. And you could probably get 6 hours or more if you keep it at quiet volume. I would say 20% of the boats that I went by on the river yesterday complimented me on how good that thing sounded. And it really does sound amazing on the river. And on this boat, that's a perfect place to put it. You got room for a dry bag in your legs right there. If you want to throw a water bottle or something, or different whatever up in there, you got room in the hold. Let's see. Let's take the speaker out. Take the water jug out. What else do you get? You get a nice carrying handle, one on each side. That's pretty nice. Let's look at the seat. Here, I'm going to tell you the most important thing about this kayak is this seat. The problem with inflatable kayaks is they never give you backrest. You really just get a floor and two tubes. And some inflatable kayak manufacturers give you this totally ridiculous version of a seat that is like a little piece of stiff fabric that goes up about 10 inches on your back. And if you're like a 7-year-old child weighing 100 pounds, it's probably awesome. It's probably just perfect. I'm a big guy. I am 270, 6'3", and I need a backrest. I need a real backrest. This seat is the first kayak that I've had, and I have many, that actually has a real backrest. It feels like you're sitting in a lazy boy chair. And you can sit up straight in it, or you could kind of like slunch down and recline in it and almost fall asleep. So props to the design on this thing. Here's something else you probably want to know. This fin. I'm not a fan of this fin. I suppose it helps tracking, but I float shallow rivers, and as soon as I go, 2-3 inches trying to skim across the rocks, this fin snags me up every time. On all my other inflatable kayaks, I've cut these things off. This thing's non-removable. Let's see, you got 2 drain plugs for if you feel like popping those off and draining, whatever. You got a little piece of a keel up front to help tracking. I think ultimately what I'm going to do with this back fin is go ahead and cut it off, bring it down to about there, so I have like the essence of a fin. But at least I'll be able to go through 2 inches better of water. So you got these nice, bungee type tie downs, which are as useful if you want to put gear back there. The zipper section that's up here, which I don't have shown, but you can see the zipper. If you want to zip yourself in, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe you're crashing waves, I don't know, but you can zip that section in. I just don't have it with me. It's behind me on the deck. So anyway, it's the best of both worlds. You've got it's 1,000 denier PVC bottom, and that's similar to what you get on a high-end kayak. It feels like 1,000 denier. Is it really 1,000 denier? I don't know. But it is a heavy-duty reinforced PVC hull. And then you've got this fabric on top. One more item of note for those people who worry about registration numbers. This boat seems like it has registration numbers that are unique to the boat. So, I don't remember if there was paperwork with it, but you do get a registration number or something like that.